G'day everyone, welcome back to another episode of FatChat. Thanks everyone that's been tuning on in. If you haven't already, make sure you follow, subscribe, like the episodes, and just helps with building the pod. But as always, got my co-host Matt Burton, Iron Man legend, Iron Man goat. What else?
I hate both of those.
Oh, he loves them. He loves them. He literally told me. He literally tells me he's the goat all the time on text. I've got receipts. But anyway, goat, how are you?
Going well. Yeah, going well.
That's good. How's everything with you? I want to know a full rundown of what's been happening with you training-wise lately.
My foot's good. Mm-hmm. It still has its moments, but everyone's feet have their moments. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I start racing soon, so swim bike is moving well, but running can only progress at the rate.
Yep.
You know, within a sort of 10% progression.
And is that because of the foot soreness, or is that because of your fitness level or slash conditioning?
Everything. Foot conditioning.
Yep.
Like you remember, I was pretty much off them for 10 weeks.
Yeah.
So both of them. So I have like a tolerance, and that I can feel that improving. But my first real run, I guess, session I got to like 12K and my feet were like cramping. And it was 12K of different paces and effort. But yeah, all the sort of internal muscles, intrinsic muscles in the feet started to tighten up too much. The rest of me felt okay because aerobically you get so much fitness from swim bike. But now that's at about 20K.
You're up to doing 20Ks?
Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty good.
Yeah. So it's progressing the right way.
Good
but
time and everything, or not particularly?
Not particularly.
Not particularly?
Today was the first time I've done a real run session.
More just about getting the Ks in right now.
Has
just
been.
Getting the distance going.
Yeah, now it's just starting to turn as we're getting racing because the Ironman is mid-June.
Yep. So
I need to be, really to run a good marathon off the bike, I need to tick a number of sort of 2.5 hour runs off by, you've got to be doing them by 6 weeks out. So I've probably got 3 or 4 weeks to get there to that mark.
Which is like not a lot of time.
It's not a lot of time, but I'm also battling fatigue, so it's like a...
How you feeling? Are you feeling way more gas than usual as well? Like at like the end of a week, you're just like, oh my God.
I was, 100%. I've had a couple of lighter days at the start of this week, but yeah, midway through last week, and I even got a bit of a head cold. My little fella got a bit snotty, and I
picked it up.
Tried to avoid him, but there's only so much you can avoid him, and we both I actually one day, this is the house I live in, right? But I was like, I don't know if I can, go swimming. And my wife, Kim, she's like, oh, you puss. She goes, there's your son outside, snotting everywhere, just wanted to run around.
Kim,
and you got a bit of a tickle in your throat and you can't go swimming.
She should be messaging me when this happens next time. I need to be given these motivational ones.
And then I went upstairs and I got a text from her. We're in the same house. Puss. So I grabbed my swim bag and I went to swimming and I did what I could.
Oh, that makes me so happy. That's so good for
him. And the next day I was so much worse, but I got up I had a big day and I ticked these sessions off. They're the ones I was probably proud of last week. Like that was 7-hour days, swim, bike, run. And I was like, full up with the flu. Just head cold, right? So the rule of thumb is if it's above the shoulders, keep at it.
Yep.
As soon as it goes to the chest, you're in trouble.
So it was just head cold at that
Tom and
point.
I were just, it was just in our mucus. Right? But then every time I would look at him and he'd be like, it's just snot coming out of his nose, but he'd want to get outside of the tractor or something. And I was like, I better go train again.
Yeah.
So we've nursed our way through that, and race one of the year for me. It's just a local event on Sunday, but I'm pretty nervous about the transition and getting back into that habit again. Yep,
absolutely. So then so you got this one coming up, and then is there a few straight after each other? Or?
There's the state TT is the following week, but then our state long course triathlon in Busselton, so the Busso 100 is May 5th. So what's that? 3 weeks from this weekend.
Do you have a new appreciation of training and everything now that you're off it for so long as well? Like you just like, I know that, it's just a grind to get because you're at this 0.01% level.
Yep.
But is there a new appreciation of like, oh my God, how good is this?
Yeah, I had a conversation with someone last night. If you have 10 weeks off from anything, you start from zero regardless of 15 years prior or 20 years prior.
Which is so sad.
The difference is now. So next week I'll be 6 weeks in. Muscle memory takes a while to engage to a certain degree, but I should be able to lift a lot faster than someone that, say, has never done it before and has gone through the first 5 or 6 weeks of exercise or training. They'll still struggle for a while because it's just a slow progression. Whereas my progression now will be quite a quick jump to a certain level, and then I'll have to keep chipping away at a higher level back to normal thresholds.
How actual depressing is that you have just, like you said, 10 weeks or 15 weeks off, whatever, which is not a lot of time in the grand scheme of things, and everything's gone like this. Like, how
2 months for most people will drift by pretty quickly. When you're laid up, you know all about it, right? But it's not like you see... I just keep having these thoughts when I was sort of laid up in a bed, like watching my fitness run away. But it's like, it doesn't jump off your skin and be like, haha, see ya.
Yeah.
Like you just, unfortunately it's just been sucked out of you up somewhere, and you lose everything. You lose the high end stuff first, or the VO2 area, and then after 6 weeks, you
everything.
It's
also like people that come and do like weight loss stuff with me, right? And they've got, this is the thing that I'm trying to sort of change in everybody's head whenever they come to, train with me. Cool. We might be doing this particular 12-week challenge, 12-week program, this 25-week footy one, whatever, but it doesn't stop once you finish the thing. You know what I mean? It's not like you do even that set of training and you go, oh, cool. Yeah, I'll be sweet. Probably if you've only done 12 weeks of training, you're not very well trained. You're probably back to zero in 2 weeks. You know what I mean? Like 3
100%.
weeks. And like hearing that from you, that's what you do for a living and you're the best at it. You're up here and that's all gone in, 10, 12 or 15 weeks or whatever. Like,
let's say I average 30 hours a week for 15 years.
Yeah.
On average. And you have 10 weeks off and you start from zero. You're just hacking away like you never thought you would feel. I don't know. I now appreciate the level of fitness I was able to maintain. Not necessarily get myself to, but just generally be at all the time, even when it wasn't specific training.
Yep.
Because that's a real asset when you're trying to go to another level all the time.
I was going to ask you this as well. So like it's coming up to, Perth has been pretty good with the weather still. It's still pretty
Amazing.
hot and stuff, but it's kind of coming up to winter-ish. You were telling me the other day, is winter better for running?
Oh, way better.
Right. So is it just purely conditions-wise?
Yeah.
Like
just cooler.
Getting out, just cooler.
You don't overheat.
Yeah.
So when your core temperature rises to a certain level, your body won't operate at a functional output, right? So you can't perform as you would be able to in like under 15 degrees.
Yep.
That's why the running season is winter.
Which is crazy because like say if I've never been, as you know, has never been a runner up until the last, doing all the stuff last year, and a lot of people listening will not be runners either. A winter run to me, that sounds
horrid.
Fucking miserable.
Yeah.
As in like, that is not when I'd want to start running. I'd be like, oh, wait till summer until the weather's good. But it kind of that's why it sort of hit me. And I was like, oh shit, like that needs to be something that almost shifts for the everyday person to know, is that it's actually running season when it's cooler.
Yeah.
And use that as the motivation rather than being like, oh, it's gross outside. Let's just not do that. Let's wait till it's warmer.
That's why people from Melbourne are such good runners, because all year it's crap.
Really? Yeah, as in you're actually reckon?
Probably. Yeah, it's just cooler conditions all the time. But then they're always going to struggle if you go to a hot race or a hot climate, right? So you get a big boost from training, from running in the heat, when you adapt properly. Like if you just get out early in the morning before the sun hits you, because it's all then, if we get scientific, there's like a skin heat and a core body temperature heat. So if you run in the sun, and you felt this because you went out running through
that's
middle
all
of the
I
day
did.
sometimes.
As in that's all I did was pretty much summer runnings outside in the middle of the day. That's all I could do.
You create like a heat index. Your body creates a heat index based on the skin temp and the core body temp. So when they match one another, you're in big trouble.
Yeah, they're cooking.
Like when you're 38.5, 39 degrees, and they're both rating up there, you will not cool down. There's a few cold points on your face. Not that it will matter now. Like if you throw cold water here, behind your neck, even on your wrists, they're like sensory points which will actually lower your core body temp. So if you ever cook yourself up on a hot run, you don't just want to be pouring it over your body because it's just a quick skin release. But like literally you just squirt water in front of you. Yeah, and it's not me trying to be funny. This is science legit. Is legit. Yeah. And then ice on the wrists is one, and then just in behind your neck, just on top of your neck there. They're actual cooling points which will aid your core temp, and then you can get going again.
Right.
Whereas if you if you just walk it out and then you get running again, you'll just keep jumping into the hot zone. So that's why winter, you never run the risk of the skin temp going there, unless you go and wear, for me, I'll be wearing rain jackets running soon for heat adaptation, because I'm going to race in Cairns in June, which is hot, very humid.
So you got to adapt to that.
Yeah, trying to get my core temp there. So most people, if you can run through summer and manage your load through summer, you'll actually come out quite fit because you boost your red blood volume.
Definitely. Well, I think if there's two takeaways for anybody that's maybe not a runner and is, sitting there being like, I wouldn't even know where to start right now in winter.
Start in winter.
This
is when all the running events are, right?
That's great. And number 2, that was a great tip about the water here and here.
Yeah.
So get water on your head, get water in your neck, get it on the wrist, and you'll be fine.
Yeah, even if you're running in the winter here, we still have some nice sunny days. If you feel a bit hot, that's where you're going for. It's got to be cold water. You don't want hot water from the river or anything.
Yeah.
But those points will help you cool yourself down and also settle yourself. Like you can get a bit panicked when you overheat. But yeah, we kick into all the community run events now. That's why they're in the winter. So for anyone, which always, they are, the HBF Fun Run in Perth is in May, late May, and then the City to Surf in August, late August. That is why they're in those months. All the major marathons around the world, they're all in the winter of locations.
Yeah, right.
It's kind of like in the autumn or the spring is common. Early spring in a lot of places is for the major marathons, purely for that. If it's under 10 degrees, you get fast times.
Good to go. I love it. Get running, everybody.
Hey guys, Dan from BackChat here. While Gerard's mum is a real doctor, this segment is for entertainment purposes only. For specific medical conditions, make sure you seek the advice of your own doctor.
Do you know the words yet, Matt? Because it's our favourite song. Get it on!
Sorry at home.
Dr Majic, give me the news. I've got a bad case of vaginal thrush and lumps on the balls, and we need you. Vaginal thrush and lumps on your balls is what I said there.
Okay.
Yeah. We've covered those in previous episodes. We've got new questions. Welcome back, Dr Majic.
Oh, thank you.
How's the week been? Plenty of patience? Saving the world?
Yeah. One life at a time.
One life at a time. That's all you can do. That's all you can do. I love it. Well, we've got a whole bunch of new questions that have been sent on in, and we're going to go through them with you today. We've got a little less sexy stuff to be fair this time too. Just more general stuff.
Disappointing.
So just keep the sex stuff coming, people.
We're evolving.
We're evolving.
Intellects.
Or maybe the advice has been so good, nobody now has STD. We've actually cleared the world.
No one is having sex anymore.
No one's having sex anymore. It's too dangerous.
We haven't put you off.
It's too dangerous. Yes.
Everyone's locked themselves in a room. And
all right. First question. Is there a pill to make you not fat?
Is there a pill to make you not fat? There's lots of new medications out on the market. There is a couple of pills that are out there, but I don't think that's the first go-to thing for weight loss, though, is pills.
Yep,
yeah, absolutely not. I mean, you should obviously healthy lifestyle stuff, which is what you're all about, Gerard, and a realistic approach to what you can actually, what you want to change and what you can actually change. And sometimes it's a little bit of a balance between accepting yourself for who you are and being healthy as well. But in terms of people that have a very high body mass index, and we're talking at least above 35, at least, and perhaps have comorbid conditions like diabetes and things, yeah, sure, there is medications. If you can come along, we can talk to you about them. There is medications that can help your metabolism or reduce your appetite.
So that's typically what it's enhancing your metabolism.
There is a medication that can actually help improve metabolism. However, it has a lot of side effects, Matt, like keeps you awake at night, makes you anxious, gives you tachycardia, makes your heart rate.
Starts with D?
Yeah,
Duromine? Oh, Duromine.
Duramine's a brand name for that particular one.
Not that I have said for the clients to go do it, but I've had clients that said, I'm taking Duromine. They don't sleep or...
For that reason.
Or they're so dry when they train.
Yeah, it makes your mouth very dry. Constipation is a side effect too.
They're always so edgy and angry. Yeah, it's like angry crack. Yeah,
because they're running at a high metabolic rate.
A lot of the medications are dose dependent, so it does depend on that. But that's something you should definitely talk to your health professional about if that sort of medication is suitable for you with your set of circumstances.
So just on that as well, there's another little trend that's going around. There's all these fitness influencers that are using Ozempic for
brand name.
As in this is people that do not need it, that do not have a body mass of 35, BMI. they're like, they're already shredded, but they're using it in like, I guess, in a more
fashion sense.
Yes.
A fashion sense. Well, like, I guess, the thing is, it does work. It does reduce, for a lot of people, it does reduce their appetite, and people do lose weight regardless of where you're starting from. However, is that something that's sustainable? And, and you're likely to going to need this medication to be able to sustain that. So I don't think that is the right approach, and I don't think it's sustainable for most people. And eventually, a lot of medications may not work so well for you. I do think they definitely have a place for people that have the high BMIs. Absolutely.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, definitely a place, but not for the people that are already shredded and just trying to get that extra.
No, I think that's right. And
I
think it's quite a dangerous sort of trend to be setting. And I think that in the US, Ozempic is used very, very widely, and a lot of celebrities will be using it as well. That's their job, to look amazing, and they're using this medication as well. So I think it's hard for it not to filter down into the rest of us, normal people, but I don't think it's a very healthy thing to be having it if you actually don't need it. If you just want to lose a couple of kilos, I don't think
about lifestyle and change.
Yeah, it is all about lifestyle. Yeah.
And chewing to a nicotine gum. Sorry, this is another trend. This is a topic where you could go.
You could keep going.
We could do
Definitely.
episodes. It's quite a big trend in
Yeah.
cycling. Chewing tobacco.
Yeah, is it really?
Yeah, absolutely. Like in Europe, you can access snus. We can't actually buy it here. It's illegal.
What is it? That's
just another form. It's like straight tobacco.
Right.
Yeah, so you chew it. So you give yourself throat cancer, mouth
just
cancer
from chewing.
long term, but enhance your metabolism. Gives you a bit of a buzz.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's quite.
And it's legal to do.
Legal performance enhancing wise.
Bit of a short-term solution, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, certainly things like caffeine can be
That's
helpful for
also
your
a big
metabolism, and that's okay if you're having a couple of coffees a day.
legal.
Spicy food can help your metabolism, so have that.
Yeah, that will do it.
Exercising in the morning rather than the
Run.
evening can be helpful.
Or
So
both.
that I mean, and I guess people talk about this, sort of not the diet stuff as well, and fasting. In the end, it's all about calories and calories, energy output, energy input. Being happy burns
Big
calories.
time. I like that,
Yeah.
Mum. I like that. Matt, over to you.
I say you're just reinforcing something he loves talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, just keeping everybody healthy. It's all right.
Being happy.
Being happy.
Keeping your hormones in check.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. My foreskin is painful to pull back.
How awful.
What should I do?
Oh, yeah. Well, definitely get that checked out, Matt, if that's happening. But it sounds like,
Are you busy tomorrow?
Well, it is a public holiday, but for you, Matt, no problem.
It's not Good Friday then, is it?
But it could be, I guess it could be something like thrush. Is it inflamed? Is it red and inflamed, or has it got a discharge? A whitish discharge.
It's got everything.
Let's go.
Well, if it's got a bit of
dirty
whitish
dick, this
discharge,
one.
it could be that you've got thrush. So that's something to think about, and you can treat that as well. Just as women can, you can go to the chemist and get some cream and a tablet to treat that. That's worth
Probably
having
less
a go.
invasive for a guy too, is it?
Yeah. Well, you just put a bit of
external, isn't it?
cream under the foreskin, massage the foreskin forward, and do that morning and night. And you could take the diflucan-1 tablet. That might be helpful. Certainly you could use a little bit of hydrocortisone cream if you're itchy. Is it itchy as well? Or?
It's very awkward that you're looking at me talking when this isn't actually my issue.
Well, again, some of these I'm going, where is he going on these
Your
run sheets
friend,
sometimes?
your friend, Matt.
What is a foreskin, firstly?
Nobody sent these in.
Matt, your friend.
My friend,
It's your friend.
Yeah, he's a dirty dick.
You're supposed to say, I have a friend, Matt. That's how it's always gone.
That would have been a bit
People come and see me, they say, I've come from a friend.
Do they really?
No, not really.
Oh, wow.
All right, I've got another one here for you, Mum. Dr Majic, do antidepressants make you put on weight? I've been taking mine for 6 months and noticing my weight increasing. Do they all have that same side effect?
Well, yeah, that is an unfortunate side effect of a lot of antidepressants, and it depends on the individual. But some people on certain ones can even put up to 5 or 10 kilos on in that 6 months, because improving your mood can also improve your appetite as well. So they do it by improving your appetite.
Really?
Yeah, increasing your appetite. So that's a problem for a lot of people. There is a couple out there that a couple of medications out there that are a bit more appetite neutral. But for most people, I do discuss that with them when they're going on antidepressants. You have side effects. Certainly weight gain is one of them. Erectile dysfunction or inability to climax for women and men as well can be a problem. And as long as people are aware and I guess they've got to look at the benefits and risks of anything. Certainly you want your mood to be good and then come down and get off them when that's an appropriate time for you to do so, and hopefully your appetite will reduce again and you'll lose your weight.
So interesting, because I guess it's like kind of goes hand in hand a little bit, because it's like, sometimes, obviously there's lots of reasons why you go on antidepressants, but then if your mood is then being affected because you're getting weight gain or you're seeing that's sort of like a little bit of a
lot of people
cycle going on.
A lot of people get very sad about gaining weight. Absolutely. So, yeah. So it's a difficult one to balance. So sometimes it would require a change of antidepressant or a change of approach to your illness. Yeah.
I've worked with a few ladies over time on antidepressants who put on a lot of weight.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the training probably wasn't then, there was no reflection in the change of body composition, right? Because it was not that they were too far gone, it was just a long road back.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then it would always be in their head too, that it was, so you've got this other stress of like, well, I can't lose weight because I'm on these antidepressants, and it also retains a lot of fluid, and like they just had all these other, I guess they were maybe spending too much. The doctor was too negative, or I'm not sure, but it was challenging.
It is challenging, and of course, the most important thing at the time of going on antidepressants is that you are being assessed for them, and you actually, if you've got a mental illness and you need them, you've got to fix your mental illness first.
And you've got to put steps in place for doing it, because like how I like for whenever I've spoken about it on videos or pod stuff, it's more about how I've thought about using it. It sort of gets you off the bottom a little bit if you're feeling really, really flat. Right. And then once you're just off the bottom a bit, then you can do things to actually get you better. So like talk to a psychologist, talk to more doctors, change your lifestyle habits, do more exercise, whatever. Like that's what, for personal experience anyway.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. But, when people are very depressed or very anxious, their motivation can be very low to exercise, very low to do very much. So you're right, getting off the bottom is a good thing. And I guess I talk to clients about, being on them for a short amount of time till we get you to a good place, and then we can start coming off them. But, certainly getting out and having a walk every day is probably, as good as a lot of antidepressants. But hard when you haven't got the motivation. So if you can get out and do a bit of exercise or do a bit of stuff that's fun that you enjoy, exercise is a really bad word for a lot of people. So I've got to be, when I talk to clients, I talk about what do you like to do? Do you like to dance to the Wiggles? Do you like to do a Zumba class?
We do.
Or whatever you do. Yeah, Matt knows all about the Wiggles now. But, exactly. So it doesn't matter what you like to do as long as it's movement. Yeah, movement's important.
Love it.
Yeah, I like this one. When you look into a bright light, what are the little squiggly things you see floating around?
Ah, right. Yeah, well, they're just floaters inside your eyeball. So your eyeball has what's called a vitreous humour. So your eyeball's a circle, and inside it's filled with fluid. It's called vitreous. It's like a jelly stuff, and you can often get little bits of proteinaceous material, like bits of protein that just look like little threads.
So is it reflecting?
Well, they're always there, but you can't see them because, that's actually
eye.
right, Matt. They're reflecting into your retina at that time.
So science shed over here.
They're inside your eyeball, but you can't see them. But when the light is like that light, you could see them.
So they're always sitting on your eye, but it's only when you've got a direct light coming on in, that's when you can sort of process that it's there.
Inside your eyeball.
Inside
your eyeball. Floating in this very thick substance called vitreous.
So if you're doing a thrust at the gym and you then all of a sudden think the world starts spinning, it's actually just the floaties in your eye. And then you don't need to go to 35 doctors.
I almost died, Matt. All right. I hope that you're laughing about. I'm glad you're laughing about this.
Everybody is laughing at you.
So much your eye as your ear. It was your ear, I'd say. Your ear, wasn't
definitely
it?
Eye.
It was his. It was his.
Did you know why?
Did I know why? Because he was lifting a lot of weight.
He had overhead noise cancelling earphones on.
It's impossible. I spoke to the ear guy. He said it's impossible.
Alex doesn't know.
He reckons.
Doesn't know.
Matt reckons.
When you're actually pushing weight, so you actually close off your airway to push, so it would increase the pressure in your. Yeah,
breathe.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, you got to breathe.
I worked with you for 6 months and teaching you to breathe.
You've got to breathe.
And then you get in the gym and you think, I'm big and bad still.
I'm not going to breathe.
I'm
just going to lock this one away.
I was throwing that hip thrust around.
But I think when you're lifting heavy weights, you actually have to hold your breath.
But if you have over-ear headphones on, right?
It's got nothing to do with the headphones.
And you're sweating.
You're
sweating. You create this barrier.
Right.
But it's suction.
Like suction, you reckon?
And then he's created his own atmosphere.
Right.
Do you know what?
He
Do you know what?
squeezed one
Do
out.
you know what
Matt's
Alex Ring
created his
said?
own
Do
atmosphere.
you know what? Do you know what Alex Ring said? He said, I said, oh, my coach said this. Is this a possibility?
My coach. Whoa,
and he
whoa,
said,
whoa.
no. That's what he said. He looked at me and he with this blank look and went, no.
So that was a bit like
impossible.
the response to, can you get chlamydia off a toilet seat?
Yeah.
No.
I'm just anti over here, headphones.
All right, well, Dr. Majic, thank you very much for coming on down. If you want to
My
be part
pleasure.
of the Dr. Majic clinic here that we're running every podcast episode, make sure you send on in your questions to fatchat@backchatstudios.com.au. Hit me up on socials. It's a safe space. We're here to help. Dr. Majic, thank you very much for coming.
My pleasure. Nice to chat.
Thanks for having us. Body Madge, I've been watching. What do we call it? We've been logging
Sorry, I'm
in.
just drinking my Pepsi Max. Hang on, sorry. Yep, sorry, good.
Hold on, let me sparkling water in the glass bottle, believe it or
It's
not.
tricking him early. It's
Sorry.
tricking him already.
Thank you, Gerald Steiner, from Germany.
He's
this
gone
one.
to intro it for 10 seconds and I've already pissed him off with the Pepsi Max. All right.
Pepsi
yeah.
Max.
Sorry, mate. I'm listening
Mate.
now. Sorry, yeah, go. Yep.
It's like a piss in a can, that. Yeah, I've been logging in. How do you say it? Tuning in to your current shred for Europe.
Yes.
And you've got your box. Oh, sun's out. Sun won't be out soon, so we don't have to see your guns
showing him my
anymore.
bicep
Yeah, I
for
saw you
everybody
doing
that's
in your
listening.
bicep kill video yesterday, but let's not deter too much. You've been ticking boxes with some habits, and it's all about. You've been very diet heavy with a lot of the recent stuff you've been putting up.
Yep.
Some of it very controversial. Mm-hmm. I personally watching. I don't know, and I don't feel it's sustainable. I don't want to confuse people with where we're going with this.
Yep.
But I always try and encourage people to take on, don't call it a diet for number one. Diet sounds like you have to change your whole eating routine.
I agree.
Right? You just want to eat in a way which is a sustainable dietary intake.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Dietary intake is the food you eat through the day. Right? So diets just scares people. As soon as they see the D word,
So is the question, do I think the diet is sustainable for me
Yes.
or do I think it's sustainable for other people to
No,
do? Or
at the
both?
moment, right now, what you're doing, and
Yep.
everyone's seeing it, the
Yep.
couple of steaks, the smoothies.
Yep.
Would you say in 12 months, if you just lived a normal life,
Yep.
you weren't just going to Europe to, look good,
Yep.
is it a sustainable way for you to live?
The current ones that I've got, the current 5, you know what? The first 4, yes.
Right.
So the food for me, yes, that's what I was doing anyway.
Yep.
Your criticism for me was, you're eating too many steaks and not
You
enough
don't need to
vegetables.
eat two, everybody. Once
Yeah, that's
more than
right.
enough.
So for that's actually just something that I've done for many, many years, and I'm very happy having a pretty plain. I'll have usually for dinner we'll do something like do like a curry or
Yep.
like something
Okay.
else, right? But like during the day, I need to eat so often. As soon as I ate just before this, I've got another one in the car ready to go. I'm so hungry all the time.
Yep.
So for me, just having like plain food, easy like that, I've always got that in the fridge. I've always got tenderloins and steaks and all that sort of thing ready to go.
Right.
So that diet stuff, that's no worries. The smoothie stuff, I want to definitely try to keep that up. I wasn't getting enough fruit and vegetables in, I don't think. So I'm going to keep that up for sure. I think that's sustainable. I think that's fine. The creatine and protein, I'd be having the protein every day anyway, but the creatine, just do it for the 8 weeks and then chill for a little bit. And then the training, I train every day anyway, but I guess the type of training that I'm doing with progressively overloading and tracking it and all that sort of stuff, that can only be, as you know, sustained for a certain period of time, and then you got to chill out a little bit from it and just simmer where you are for a little bit. So for sure. And then the cardio every day, due to simply time, that's the part that I go, after this, that's probably not going to happen for a little while. You know what I mean? So I think there's some there that yes, and then some there that are no. But I think the ones that are yes are like core for me. Are like real good core ones, and I could hang on to those ones, and that would be
Right.
a solid routine. Yeah.
I'm only asking because I guess over time I've travelled a lot with racing and whatnot. So things like protein shakes and whatnot, even with, I guess, anti-doping, you avoid them. But when you travel, you could only be taking X amount of luggage with you. So my take on diet and my dietary intake became more about what is something I can do every day of the year, wherever I'm travelling, right, through airports, through
I
different
think going
countries.
away me going away, that's different.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
It's different for you.
100%.
You're going on a holiday.
Yes,
For someone
you're
who's
going
like
for a career.
Yeah. You know, I'm traveling to
Performance,
still
yeah.
do the same thing. Just like home, I'm training. Over there, I'm still training. I'll just race one day.
Yep, understand.
But it's like, what can I access in other countries and other places that's still the same food
Mm-hmm.
is the most important thing. So that's where if you strip it back for an everyday person who may not be traveling, right? And they're like, oh, I walked into Nutrition World. I don't even know what the supplement places are called now. Supplement Mart. Let's go. That was plug them. And I didn't know which protein to buy or anything like that. I would say to them, hold on to your money for now. Try and look at an intake through the day, which is something you could do all the time.
Yep.
Right? Let's just go back to the cereal aisle, for instance. If you like Wheat Bix, start with them, right? And then at mid-morning, if you like yogurt, find a yogurt that you like that doesn't have too much sugar and no artificial sugar. Eat that, right? Let's just really strip it back to some basic things, you know, things like crumpets, quite a wholesome, simple carbohydrate to eat. Don't be scared of carbs. Having those the macros is so important for everybody. But what I do see a lot of is you can go, like I coach some athletes and they're on different supplements and different, you know, adding what you're having as a smoothie is very different. It's fruit and veg just chopped up, right?
Yep.
Whereas when you're adding different powders and
yeah.
whatnot, you can't carry that everywhere. If you go down to Busso for a few days, if you go down south, you go up north, you can't be carrying around, you know, cartons of stuff. You just get in the way.
Totally. Yeah. Which I think it's more about like when I'm coaching someone and you're breaking it down as to what you're going to work on and my habits that even the 5 I've got right now, that's going to be vastly different from somebody else that's listening to this, because it has to be something that is pretty easy to do. So even those 5 for me, you know, like I said, those first 3, that's super easy for me to, I know that's a lock in, you know what I mean? And the other ones are a bit of a build. And it's okay to have stuff to, you know, try to build and add and substitute, like what you're saying, whether it's, you know, add breakfast, perfect. That's a great example. Or, you know, try to get more protein in through your main meals, whatever it is. But it's just about making it super bite-sized for you so you can metaphorically digest it and put it into action without it being too big of a thing to worry about all the time. Say if, you know, like you're saying, if you end up go traveling or with work or kids get in the way or whatever it is, it just has to be manageable enough for you to do it longer than just a week or 2 and you can just tick it away. And,
you see a lot of people,
like that.
I mean, I see a lot of people, you know, meal prep
It's
it's this craze, right? For someone who might have children or, you know, quite a busy lifestyle in all facets, that is not something that's sustainable for 365 days a year. You can't, Sunday nights will get away from you to prepare meals for the next week, right?
And then it's just about finding something that will go in its place
100%.
That works better for your things. So, you know, order some foods for your like pre-packed meals like what I do from Fit Foods for your lunch. Perfect.
Good plug too.
Good plug too. Yeah. Try that.
Yeah, but not just going to, you know, a local deli or something like that and having something from there. It's like
a little bit more organized.
A little bit. That's all it is. Just a bit of organization will go a long way with your own dietary intake. But it's just interesting viewing for me in terms of people just have this gravitate towards cutting food as a way to diet.
Well, this is the thing that I wanted to sort of highlight with this almost is I'm not counting any calories. No. I'm not cutting any food. Like that is not part of what the goal is for me every day. The goal is those 4 things. Exactly, literally just be healthier. And the habits that I'm going to keep stacking on, they ain't going to be things that are like crazy, like, oh, I'm going to fucking do 100 push-ups, you know, extra push-ups, you know, like stuff like that. It's just something that I can just go and tweak just here and there and just show how tweaking here and there and just being a little bit more accountable in certain areas can actually change quite a lot of where your health is right now to where it can be as well. So because I've had a lot of people messaging, will we see one of those boxes become no sugar drinks? No, absolutely not. As we
tried,
do that,
everybody, I tried.
We'll end the segment with Pepsi Max, man. Pepsi Max. So, like the games that you played so far, any like real big highlights for you? Like whether it was, you know, either just a game in general that you played, or like a particular passage of play, or someone you played on.
I think our first win. My first win for the club was pretty special in that round 1 win against Brisbane Lions. in front of 40,000 for our supporters. That was a pretty special moment. And to run alongside a heap of new teammates, and then surrounded by all my family and friends up in the stands. It was a pretty special day, and I think probably that has been my favourite moment of this year so far. I suppose I had an all right game on the weekend as well, so that felt pretty good. But I think running out, round one against Brizzy was pretty special.